Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that I received, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as anonymous. A nurse who delivered my baby, I found out that she was already a dead nurse. She was once a matron and then she passed away. Please post for me as anonymous, Brother Nashi. I am a South African woman and I am not writing this to scare people or to attack hospitals or nurses. I'm writing because this thing has stayed with me for years and years. Sometimes when I remember it, I start to feel dizzy and my chest becomes heavy again. And now my daughter is one that gives me a lot of sleepless nights, because my daughter is being said that she is supposed to be taken to the river so that she can be cleansed by someone who works with the marine spirits. I am a Christian, my brother, so I don't know if this was Satanism that happened or was it an angel. If it was an angel from God, why is it that now my daughter is supposed to be cleansed at the river by the marine spirits? This happened, it was in the year 2016 when I was pregnant with my first child. I was young, I was nervous. Me and my husband, we were happy because this was our first child. I was scared, everything at the same time. Because of finances back then, me and my husband, we were not yet okay financially. I had to go to a public hospital to deliver. I won't mention the hospital name because I know how people are, but it was busy, very busy. The place was so scary for me, especially for a young first-time woman who is going into labor. I had no idea that this is how labor is like. Women were screaming in pain everywhere, and as for the nurses, you could tell that they are tired and they were overwhelmed by the work that they had. From the moment that I arrived, I could just feel the attitude. The nurses, they were rude, especially to my husband. They were so rude towards him. They spoke in a rude way. They spoke to other pregnant women that were sitting on the cold floor, sharply, rude. They shouted. They would ignore you when you would ask them questions. One nurse even asked me if she was there when I was doing cloth. It was so painful because I wanted to know if the baby was coming. She laughed and she said, if the baby is coming, was I there when you were doing cloth? You have only been here for 2 minutes and you are asking me if the baby is already coming. The pain that I was feeling, it was so painful. And another nurse was like to this other woman, you enjoy making babies, but when it is time to deliver, you cry like children. These are the fruits of doing too much cloth, as if themselves they did not have kids. I remember lying there. They make you to feel so small, to feel ashamed for even asking them to come and help you if you don't know what is going on with you. The labor pains became stronger and stronger. I was scared because it was my first time. I had never been through something like this. At some point, I started feeling dizzy. I thought maybe I was about to faint. Then when she appeared, because I gave birth at 1 a.m. at night, those nurses, they had been ignoring me. They put me into another room, and this room, it really had no window because it was broken. So it was so quiet, the room which they had put me. There was no movement. I thought that maybe they had put me there because they thought that I was going to die. Then when she appeared, I don't know how else to explain it. By then I thought that I was going to die because I was slowly fading away from my body and I wanted to cry. But my mom had told me that a woman who cries in labor, she will lose her child. No matter how much pain you feel when you are in labor, you are not supposed to cry because you end up leaving your child at the hospital. and I wanted to go back home with my child. I don't know how else to explain it. This woman, when she appeared, she was calm, she was old, and she spoke so nice with me, but she wore the same uniform as the other nurses. As I was looking at her, I was even asking myself, this nurse, is she not supposed to have retired at this age? Because the way that she was walking, she was doing everything so slow, but something about her was different. She was not rude, and she did not judge me. She walked towards where I was because I was sleeping on the floor by then. I was feeling so much pain in my waist area. So I said, if I sleep on the cold floor, maybe I'll get much better. And she was like, if you continue sleeping on the floor after you would have given birth, the cold that would have entered you, it can kill you. And then she helped me to go to the bed. She then said to me, breathe, my child, look at me, not at the pain. She held my hand. Brother Nashi, when she touched me, I did not even think that this was a dead person. It felt warm. She comforted me. It was as if she was my mother, the way that she used to hold me when I was sick. She would clean my face, wipe the sweat. She spoke to me gently. She helped me position myself properly. She told me exactly when to push, when to stop. When I panicked, she said, you are not alone, I'm here. And I thought that this was a real human being that I was talking to, and I believed her. The strange thing is, while she was with me, the other nurses seemed far away, almost like they did not even see her or hear her. She never raised her voice. She never insulted me. She kept calling me my child. At one point, I asked her, where have you been? I needed help long time ago. She just smiled and said to me, I always come when I am needed. After hours of labor, my baby was gone, healthy, crying alive. I cried too from relief, and I was exhausted. That same nurse, my brother, she just said, you did well, go and rest. So she did not even cut like the placenta or anything. She just looked at me. Then I started screaming because she left me like that. When I screamed like that, nurses, they came rushing. They were so rude. They were like, you gave birth to yourself. You want us to get fired. Why didn't you call me? But I had tried to tell them that I was in extreme pain and I felt the urge to keep on pushing. And they were like, you only push when we tell you to push. And they were busy just chatting with each other. So I stopped bothering them. And they were scared that if this baby was going to fall from the bed, then they were going to get fired. That was all that they were scared about. So they took my baby, they wrapped my baby, started acting as if they cared, and they placed her on my chest. And then the next day, after I had slept and gathered my strength, then I started to think about that woman. I thought about how kind she had been, while the others were harsh. I wanted to thank her properly. I wanted her name. I wanted to tell her she had made my delivery bearable, and I wanted to gift her. So I asked another nurse. I said, please call the nurse who helped me last night, the older one. She was very kind. The nurse looked at me strangely. She asked me, which one? I described her face, the way that she was old, and I saw that the name tag, it started with a C. She looked at me and she was like, there was no nurse like that on duty. I laughed, thinking that maybe there was a little bit of confusion. I said, no, she was here. She stayed with me for a very long time. So that nurse then finally called another nurse. They both listened to me. They were not even interested. Then another one came. She was a little bit older than those rude two ones. Then one of them went and she said to me, I think she is talking about that sister matron. This is not the first time it has happened again. So I said, I don't know her name, but yes, she seemed like a senior nurse. That nurse looked at me and she said, that nurse that you saw, she was a matron. She died in 2008. So those nurses, they were also surprised about what had happened. My heart dropped, and I thought that maybe they were joking, and they told me that this was not a joke. They told me that there was a former matron who looked exactly like the woman that I had seen before. So they took me to this other small reception area, and they showed me a photo on the wall, and it was her, that same woman. I could not even speak. I just sat there. I was shaking. As for that night, I could not sleep. I felt like the spirit was going to come back and she was going to hurt me. I was even awake throughout the night. If any movement, I could hear any movement, I would wake up immediately and start looking around. I was finally discharged. After I had been discharged, I went back home. But what I do not understand to this very day is why now my daughter is being said that she is supposed to be cleansed, and I am supposed to take her to a prophetess or a sangoma. A woman is the one that is supposed to do this ritual so that my daughter can be cleansed. And if she is not cleansed, I have been told that it can be very difficult for her to get married, to even have children of her own. Even if she does not get married, a womb will be blocked. So she has to be taken to a river, a sacred river, where there are marine spirits or mermaids. Then they will cleanse her. Why am I supposed to do this as a Christian? Was this Satanism that happened to me? If it was an angel of God, why am I supposed to have this cleansing done on me? When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our DM sister. She is asking a question there. She is saying, if it was an angel, a guardian angel, why is it that I am being told that as for my daughter, if she does not get any cleansing, it is going to be very difficult for her to get married. It is going to be difficult for her to have children. Let us try to assist him in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. The message that was sent to me, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Please post my story as anonymous. I have a friend of mine right now. He is someone that is making a lot of money. He now owns a couple of lodges, and he wants me to join the same cult that he joined. My story, let me take you back when I was still in college. I do come from a very poor family. Me and this guy, we used to stay at the same student accommodation. He was also as poor as I was. But one thing about him was that he was interested in a lot of money magic. Whenever we were in town, if we could see those people that give you flyers, my friend, he would always take those flyers, and he was interested in the things of short boys. He told me that he later got contact and he spoke with a person who helped him to join a cult. So this cult, it is more like a church. They go to church on Friday. That is when they go and then they attend that church. But in this cult, he told me that they worship a woman. And when they worship this woman each and every Friday in their small church, all of the men that will be there, they have to sleep with that woman who is their high priestess. And he said that some of the things he can't tell me. But my friend has told me that he is not allowed to date women anymore, for he belongs to that woman who is the high priestess. I said, so what do you do? How do you survive? So you only wait when it is time for you to sleep with that woman. And sleeping with this woman at their church, I don't mean like you sleep with him until you are satisfied. You just dip your manhood into her when she is sleeping on the altar, and it is done. I asked him and I said, so how are you surviving as a man? For he told me that it has been so many years he has been doing this, and he does this so that he can be able to keep his wealth. He said to me, I am only allowed to sleep with men. And I said, so are you into that? He said, no, I'm not into that. I am only doing it so that I can be able to keep my money and to enjoy money. I don't know how can a man claim that he enjoys money by not enjoying women. What is the purpose of having all of the wealth that he has? This man that I'm talking to you about, he is a big man. He has companies all over the place, yet he is not married. But he told me that he had kids. Soon after college, when he was working, he got this girl from his village pregnant because he knew that this was what was going to happen. He told me that if I am going to join this cult, they will give me time. If I want to have 2 kids, it's either I can impregnate 2 women at the same time, or I can just have 1 child. Like in his own case, he only have 1 child with 1 woman that he impregnated at his village. He says that this woman, he even bought for her a house. He takes care of that woman as well as for his son, but he is not allowed to enjoy that woman. Even if he goes to see his son, he told me that the mother tries by all means to drag him to her bedroom, because as a woman, she sees that he is a good man. He does all of these things for him, but he does not want to sleep with her. So naturally, she tries to get him into the bedroom so that they can sleep with each other. But he is not allowed to sleep with a woman anymore. He is only allowed to sleep with men. I said, so what do you do with these men? He told me that he goes on different WhatsApp groups where there are men, those that love other men, and he just goes in that group and he just takes one man, he goes with that man and sleep with him, not because he likes it, but he is just doing it to satisfy what he has been told at the church. He looked at me when I had a meeting and he said, my man, are you going to be able to do this? Because if you can't, I will not take you to the church, because they want someone that is serious, and I can't give you any business connections. As for me, I am tired of working for these white people. I am tired. I just want to start my own company, but I did not know that my friend, whom I thought was going to give me a good plug, he is also being plugged by other men back there. Yo, my brother, I do not want to do that to another man, or for another man to do that to me. I am a man. I have to do it to women. So he was like, you are just thinking like a poor person. When you are having money, it really does not even matter anymore. You can enjoy life. Women, you can enjoy them, but not by sleeping with them. I asked him how so, and he said he will show me, because those are some of the dark secrets that he can't tell me before he would have gone with me to the church. I want your honest advice without judging the lifestyle that he is living. For a person that has been working for a very long time, and for a person that has seen that they are not going anywhere in life. Some of the people that I went with to college, they already own houses, but I own nothing. I was thinking that it is better that I go and see this woman who is their priestess, the wife to the man that goes to that church. Then I also become her own. But this thing of sleeping with men, that is the deal breaker for me. When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our listener right there. Let us speak with him in the comment section. If it was you, will you go ahead with with those rituals going to that church. What kind of a church is that? If you have ever been to such a church, you can also come to our inbox on Facebook or on TikTok. Then you share with us your own side of the story. Then there is another message that I'm going to be sharing with you, and that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? I dated a Nigerian, bless her, and I knew very well that he was a ritualist, but I stayed anyway. I'm using a ghost account. I have some people that follow me on TikTok, so I don't want this to be linked to my real life. I just want to speak before I lose my life completely. You can call me Rose. I am a 32-year-old South African woman. Yeah, there are those that like to label us, those that love going out as slay queens. And yes, maybe I am. Just that I dress nice. I take care after my body. I look soft. I post good pictures only, but they are part of my life that does not look good on Instagram or on TikTok or Facebook. I also live, sadly, emojis of a crying woman with bipolar. I was diagnosed years ago. Some days I'm fine, sharp, motivated. Other days I just totally crash. Emoji of a woman in bed. When I can't get out of bed, my mind runs fast. Then suddenly it will be empty. People think that I'm dramatic. They don't see the inside. Before all of this, I was working at PEP. That was where I was working, but because of bipolar, it was a little bit difficult. But still, I paid my rent. I took taxis, lived like many girls. I met Ben. I'll change the years when I met him. I'll say that I met Ben. This was in the year 2023. He's Nigerian. He's a good guy. He used to come to the mall. He used to come and send money, loads and loads of money, that made me to get interested in him. There was one day when he came to send money, which was close to 8,000 something, and I got interested in him. He was always dressed neatly, nothing loud, and he did not even chase after me. I was the one that I chased after him. So at the mall where I was working close to that PEP, there was a little king pie that was there. So I was like, hey, sending all of this money, I'm pretty sure that it won't hurt you if you just buy me lunch. And he asked me what I wanted, and I said, you can just go and buy me something there. I was pointing at the small king pie, and then he said, okay, it's fine, let me go. He went and he came back. Then we started talking. We exchanged numbers and we kept on talking about life, money, and then he listened to me in a way most men did not on WhatsApp. Within a month, Brother Nashim, he moved me out of the place where I was staying. He said to me, Rose, why are you struggling when you do not have to? He said that he got an apartment that he had in a clean neighborhood, in a good area, just done. He had paid rent up front. And I said, Ben, how can you just pay for something without asking me first? He told me to stop working. He said, rest your mind. I did not even argue. Brother Nashi, when you are bipolar, stability feels like oxygen. I just needed peace. When you are bipolar, when you are in an environment where you are being rushed by everyone, like it just makes you feel somehow. And I needed someone else to carry things for once. 3 months into dating, things changed. Kaboom. One day he was there, another day he was never there. When he would come to my apartment, he would avoid sleeping with me. When I would go to his house, he stayed all alone. This made me to be jealous. I was like, what if you are busy slaughtering other women when I am all alone in my apartment? He was like, we can't share the same room before we got married. And I was like, why can't we get married, Ben? Why can't we get married? Why can't you marry me? Because you say that you love me. You are spending all of this money on me, yet you do not want to propose. You have to propose love, and you have to propose to me because you love me. But when I was at his place, my brother, we would never make love on the bed. This always worried me. I would always ask him, and I'll be like, why is it that you do not want me to sleep with you on this bed? And then that was when he told me something that really horrified me. He said, this bed that you're looking at, this was a bed that I once shared with a woman that I once loved, that made me to be who I am. And I said, oh, really? Who is that woman now? If she is the love of your life, what am I even doing here? I was angry at him. And then he said, oh, let me show you something. We then went at the back of the house. There was a garage. There is a garage there where you can park 3 more cars. We got in. I saw a car that was totally wasted. So I asked him if he had ever been involved in an accident, and then he said to me, no, I've never been involved in an accident. And I said, so who crashed in this car? This car, my brother, it still has blood all over the place. And then he told me that this was the vehicle that his late wife was driving when she died in a horrific accident. I just stood there. I was confused. I was like, so this guy, what is he doing with this vehicle? It is blood everywhere. It has been opened up. They had to cut the top of that car and remove the roof so that they will be able to get the woman's body out because she died on the scene. When I saw everything, my brother, I even wanted to walk away, but I just stayed with him. And then he told me that for the respect that he had for his wife, he does not want me to sleep on that same bed. And I said, how about you just took it to storage and you leave it at a storage area? Why do you have to keep that bed in your house and then you start dating? Are you not yet over the death of your wife? If so that I can walk away. He hugged me and he was like, no, Rose, you are the one, but we have to continue sleeping on the floor. So those are some of the weird things that were happening. Then I had a dream. I saw Ben. He was busy bathing in a tub that was full of blood. Knowing what I had seen in his garage, I then confronted him. Brother Nashi, at that time, someone that is normal could have left, but I am tired of being used by men. I am not going to leave Ben. We are going to die together. I swear on my mother's grave, I am not going to leave him. Even if I find him eating a human being, Ben, I am not going to leave you. Because you brought me out of the location, you made me to stay in a nice place. I can't go back to where I was. And then I confronted him and I said to him, I had a dream. I saw you drinking and you were bathing in a tub that was full of blood. And he said, you are quite a dreamer. You have a gift of prophecy. So Ben told me that he did rituals. I asked him if he killed his wife, and he said, no, my wife, she knew. We went together to Nigeria and we did rituals together. And there is no way that I could have sacrificed someone that I did rituals with. So that is the story that Ben has told me. After I had found out, my brother, he told me that his marriage is spiritual and I am the physical one. Therefore, we can't get legally married. I hate that sentence that I just said, but I have stayed because I feel like I have been chosen, even though I am not his real wife. I am a house girlfriend, if there is such a thing. I cook, I clean, he brings his clothes, he buys me nice clothes. I have girlfriend allowance, he takes care of me, nails, everything paid. My brother, I really do not care what the world will say about me, because all that I am focusing on is the good, positive energy that he has given to me. Even though I am bipolar, but there are days when I feel that I am doing wonderful and I'm cruising nicely and I feel that life is really good. I feel that he is dangerous, but he is a kind man. Over time, I have seen that he truly loves me. It is just that he is jealous, but he says that I am more jealous than he is. This is my confession, my secret that my relatives do not even know that me staying with this Nigerian man, we don't stay like 24/7 with each other. I have my apartment which is renting, and he stays in his house because he's still married spiritually to his late wife. He says that I can't give up on my late wife because the wife, in brackets, she made him to be who he is today. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our sister. Let us speak with him in the comment section. She is saying, Ben, I am not going to leave you. Even if I find you one day eating a human being, I am not going to leave you. Let us speak with him in the comment section.